Baby boy pops into this world, not quite knowing what's what or who's who. Swollen, red, puffy, and blind, but he's not quite mute. The future waits, a tractor beam pulls him in. Whoa! His parents gaze at him in wonder as he reaches out a tiny little hand to grasp their blurry baby carrot fingers. And outside, a man walks his dog, who seems to have taken a special interest into the nearest fire hydrant. And baby boy hears the old man's laughter as the dog circles around and around and around, never quite finding that perfect spot. And then, well, you know, baby boy grows up, lies on his back on the carpet, and he watches the ceiling fan spin around and around and around in some sort of circle. And he wonders about that metaphor. And he remembers other shapes he knows, like square and triangle and pickle. Baby boy is all grown up. Holds down a 9-to-5 job, and he watches the hour hand on the clock spin around and around and around. And he wonders about that metaphor. Life! Now, the period between birth and death. Or the quality that distinguishes a vital and functional being from a dead body or inanimate matter. Or, if you're more into the Disney aspect, it's a circle. But instead, let's look at life from a different angle. Life is a journey. A journey that begins with birth, then makes its way into the promised land of adolescence, and then right into the land of milk and honey, early adulthood. And then it shifts gears and moves on into those darker and final years of life, when death doesn't seem so much as the end, but rather a release from the circle. We'll go on this journey using the words of Alan Shapiro, Jeffery McDaniel, Edward Field, and Virgil Suárez in The Bell Curve of Life.
The two boys don't suspect they don't exist. And Ethel Merman is the shade of a shade!
What Plato says all poetry is.
A record spinning beneath a needle
As the boys lip sync into imaginary lights, and from their mouths so touchingly naive for being so.
There's no people like show people.
And their parents clap and whistle from the bed, prop the bunk pillows.
Everything about it is appealing.
They're shouting, encore, bravo! When the boys, like chorus girls, arms on each other's shoulder, step kick their way across the room, out of it, then back.
Stealing the extra bow.
All now just the shade of shade.
Like no people I know.
Yesterday was an extra long day for the boy with no arms and no legs. Neighborhood children played outside his window, a soft machine, and they circled, joined hands, closed eyes, jumped up and down. Shoelaces. Giggles moving in time. One caught the boy peering. The boy contorted out of sight, his breaths lumped on one another like cows in a madhouse. But he twisted too slow.
Look! It's the turtle!
And he shifted his weight from left to right again and fell from his chair. A pilot bailing on a crashing plane. And he waited there, like a spilled bucket of green paint. And when he no longer heard any semblance of plane, he called Mommy for help. The poster with my picture on it is hanging on the bulletin board in the post office. I stand by it, hoping to be recognized, posing first, full face, then in profile. But everybody passes by, and I have to admit that picture was taken some years ago. I was unwanted then, and I'm unwanted now. So I guess I'll go up Echo Mountain and cry. I just wish somebody would find my fingerprints, maybe on a corpse, and say, "You're it!" Description, male or reasonably so, white but not lily white, and politically a pinko. 35, should look so lately, 5 feet 9, 130 pounds, no physique. Black hair going gray, hair receding fast, we used to be curly, now fuzzy. Brown eyes staring and beetling brow, mole on chin, probably will become a wen. It is perfectly obvious that he was not popular in school, no good at baseball, and wet his bed. And his aliases tell his story. Dumbbell, good for nothing, Jew boy, Fieldinski, skinny, fierce face, greaseball, sissy. response to love. Don't come, or he will come. When my grandmother left the house to live with my aunts, my grandfather, who spent so much time in the sugarcane fields, returned daily to the emptiness of the clapboard house he built with his bare hands. There, in the half-light, he thought of all he'd lost, including family, country, land. One night during a lightning storm, he stripped naked and walked out into the fields around the house saying, "Que me parto un rayo." May lightning strike me. And he stood with his arms out. And then the bolts fell about him. And he danced and cradled these filaments in his arms. And he ran back inside and brought with him an armful of mason jars, filling them with that fractal light. And he whisked them back inside. And the house filled with the immense blinding light that swallowed everything, including his memories of how each nail sunk into the wood, the water lever rising in the well, and the family that refused to accept him now. That, in this perpetual waking, the world belonged to those who believed in the power of electricity. These moments, sabbaths of anguish. This clean and pure act of snatching lightning bolts out of the air. Plucking lightning bolts like flowers from a hillside. Extravagant sleep of clear sky, darkening in the big picture window beside the bed. Lights here and there already flashing all across the city down below us. You with your eyes closed. I with a drink in hand. You, suddenly in character. Your voice a raised voice. Faint. Stumbling. Slurry with morphine. And yet, still as artful as ever. Do you think you have a problem? Me? With what? I, too, in character now. The character without character. With what? With that. Head tilted to the shot glass. This? A problem? Not at all. There's plenty more where that came from. But you remained imperturbable. Look at yourself. I sit here, drinking, all alone. Well, are you happy now? You drink a lot. I have a lot to drink about. And that was that. Your eyes closed, head turned away. The two of us together for the last time ever on stage, being brothers. The concentration that neither one of us could ever break.